Hi everyone. I just came back from Yagya that was performed for Mahashivaratri, the day of Shiva. I'm here in the Maharishi Ayurvedic hospitals in Delhi, and it was a very powerful ceremony. You know, Shiva is really connected to yoga. I'm doing this live, to promote the book that I wrote, Transcendental Yoga, which is a new translation and commentary of the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali in light of the teaching of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And it's yoga is really connected, as I said, to Shiva. Shiva always is depicted as sitting, in a lotus position, completely absorbed in the silent of Turiya, of the fourth state of consciousness. And the interesting point is that even though Shiva represents silent, deep silent, is there on the Himalaya, completely detached from everything, still in some other form of Shiva, he represents also infinite dynamism. Nataraj, the Shiva in a dancing pose, is a beautiful description of both the infinite silence and the infinite dynamism in one figure. Because when you look at this statue, you look at the face, it's completely like a face of meditation, completely inward, completely eyes are completely half closed, all the expression of the face is complete silent, the deep silence of Shiva. At the same time, when you turn your attention to the circumference of the statue, you see all the hands, each one is doing certain things. One is beating the drum, another one is holding a flame of fire, all the body is in a position of dance, one leg is raised up, so it's all dynamism. And it's beautiful because that's actually the expression of the totality of life, because according to Maharishi, Brahman, the totality of life, is at the same time both Gyan Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Gyan Shakti, pure knowledge, pure silence. Kriya Shakti, infinite dynamism, infinite power of activity within this silence. And that's depicted in the form of Shiva. Now, what's the connection to Patanjali, you might ask? Well, Patanjali, the main thing of Patanjali, of course, is to establish the state of yoga, to allow people to experience this state, this kind of state that is characterized by infinite silence. And therefore, he starts with the sutras, with this amazing text, with the Samadhi Pada, the chapter of transcendental consciousness. And he gives different experiences of transcendental consciousness, with activity, with mental activity, with some faint mental activity, with some feeling of ananda, of bliss, all kind of things. And in the second chapter, it discusses sadhana pada, different activity on a more gross level of life that can strengthen the experience of samadhi, that can really enhance our ability to develop this state in a permanent way. But then we reach the third chapter, the Vibhuti Pada. And the Vibhuti Pada is basically a chapter of how to activate this silent, how to activate, if we take it to this special day today, the Shiva Ratri, how to activate this infinite silence, this Turiya state of that Shiva is representing. And he gives the technique, the Sanyama, which is a combination of Dana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. And he said, when we do it properly, when we have the experience of Samadhi and we are able to activate it within ourselves through a certain way, what he called Sanyama, then we can achieve amazing things. Then we can develop amazing powers within ourselves. Then we can have a knowledge of the universe and knowledge of our bodily function and all kind of things. And all the cities are basically on the level of infinite power, infinite activity also, activity within the science. And that's exactly the form of Shiva. So I think that these two forms or two aspects of knowledge in the Vedic tradition are really combined nicely together. Patanjali, he have in the sutras the establishment of this silent. His aim is to bring each person to the state of Kaivalya. What is Kaivalya? It's basically the state of cosmic consciousness, where the infinite silence that we experience in the beginning just in meditation, when we are with eyes closed and we turn our attention inside, is actually accompanies us when we are also engaged in activity. That's what Maharishi described as cosmic consciousness, or in the Upanishads, Turiyatit or Turiyatita. So that's the idea of Patanjali. The fourth chapter, which lead to the end of the sutras, is just to establish the state of Kaivalya, And in order to do it, you have to go also through activating the silent within yourself, through this process of the siddhis, to the sutras that he gives in the third chapter, in the Vibhuti Pada. So it's a great joy to be able on this day to experience this silence and to enliven this silence with this kind of vibration of the Veda. The Pandits were singing the Rudram. It's amazing text. It has two styles of chanting it. There is the way in the North India. They sing it in a different style than in the South. Both versions are absolutely amazing. I would recommend, just if you are not in the area of Pandits. This year I was lucky to be here, but if you are not there, you just search in YouTube. You will find the versions of the Rudram, and just to listen to it is really shaking. Maharishi described once, we said that when the Pandits are reciting the Rudram, it's like the power is much more even than meditation, like million times, he said, I think, if I'm not wrong, more powerful, because what they do with this chanting, they're actually shaking the prakritis, they are shaking the basic element of nature and allowing the stress and the tension and all the negative qualities just to evaporate and disappear. So that's a very auspicious day, and it was great to speak with you. And again, I will add a link to this book, that I wrote about the Yoga Sutra, which is amazing text that describe this kind of silence together with dynamism and all these higher states of consciousness. So happy Shiva Ratri and Jai Gurudev.